Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome to the Sunday edition. I want to thank you all for all of the subscribers who have subscribed to this channel. We have 1,880 subscribers to date. We're on the road to getting 2,000. We're almost there. And I believe that you're going to help me to cross the finish line. Today, I want to talk about MAGA Republican Eric Adams and his strategy for his campaigning against Zohran Mamdani. So why do I call him a MAGA Republican? Because Adams left the Republican Party a long time ago. He says he's a registered Democrat, but I don't believe it. According to CNN.com or CNN New York, Eric Adams was once a rising star in the Democratic Party. His re-election will hinge on taking down the newest one. Hours after Zohran Mamdani's performance in New York City's Democratic primary electrified national politics, Adams painted the 33-year-old Democratic socialist as an entitled and inexperienced lawmaker trying to hoodwink New Yorkers with unrealistic proposals. Quote, "This is a city not of socialism," end quote, Adams said. Well, how about this? When Trump ran for office, he was not a politician. As a matter of fact, they kept making it abundantly clear that he was not a politician. He was inexperienced. He had no political agenda whatsoever, yet he became president of the United States. So why can't Zohran Mamdani become the mayor of New York City? If others can run for office and win without any experience, so can he. So this is the strategy that Adams is attempting to use. Speaking Thursday on the steps of City Hall, Adams pitched himself as a tested working-class leader focused on public safety and economic recovery who wants to complete the job he set out to do nearly 4 years ago. He signaled that he intends to paint Mamdani as elitist and out of touch with the needs of Black and Latino communities. That strategy is not going to work. Isn't it something how these MAGA Republicans always want to invoke Black people and Latinos? Meanwhile, who are they deporting out of the country? Black and brown people and Latinos. And if Adams doesn't sound like a MAGA Republican, you tell me who he sounds like. He sounds like one of them because he is one of them. I told you all before, if this man wins re-election as New York's mayor, he's going to defect to the Republican Party. See, you all didn't know that he was at the Republican convention. Yes, he was. He was right there, front row. He was at the inaugural celebrations. He was at the inaugural swearing-in ceremony for his new boss. He was right there. And if you all think that Adams is for the people, then you might as well start believing in fairy tales, my brothers and sisters. This man is a con artist. It's a snow job. Don't be fooled by the strategy that the Republicans behind the scenes are helping and abating him with. And they will all come out and stand on stage with him if he wins re-election. Quote, "This election is a choice between a candidate with a blue collar and one with a suit and silver spoon. A choice between dirty fingernails and manicured nails," end quote, Adams said. It's a choice between real progress and empty promises. Really? Well, didn't they put a billionaire in the White House? So how is that a choice? Adams left Black people a long time ago. He used Black people to become mayor. He was deputy mayor under Ed Koch. And he was also a cop for over 30 years. And people seem to forget about the stuff that he did when he was a police officer. Don't be beguiled. He hasn't done a darn thing for New Yorkers. What has he done for New Yorkers since he's been in office? He's the one who told the governor of Texas to send the migrants to New York, remember? He put them up in hotels, he gave them vouchers, he gave them money, and etc. And even the New Yorkers got pissed off with him because he gave them nothing. And you haven't heard a word out of Adams recently. You haven't heard too much out of Adams at all. Mamdani was shown Adams's comments on CNN's Aaron Burnett out front. He smiled and held his hands up to the camera. Quote, "They're not looking that great right now," end quote, he said. Adams is a 64-year-old retired police captain who later became a state senator and Brooklyn borough president. Having run a law and order focused campaign 4 years ago, he highlighted his administration's work overseeing a steady drop in overall crime, a record increase in jobs and tourism, and push to approve and build more affordable housing. Not mentioned his relationship with President Trump. He doesn't want to talk about that because he was told to keep his mouth shut. Adams decided to run in the Democratic primary this year after the Trump-led Department of Justice ordered corruption charges against Adams to be dropped. Adams is now mounting an independent campaign. It's not an independent campaign. It's backed up by the Republicans. It's backed up by the MAGA extremists. They're probably funneling money into his campaign very quietly. I don't trust Adams. Just because somebody's black does not mean they're supposed to be trusted. Zohran Mamdani deserves a chance. You've given everyone else an opportunity in New York City to be mayor. Why not give this young man a chance? Versus a 64-year-old out-of-touch elitist. His campaign launch came 3 days after Mamdani shocked former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo with a campaign focused on making one of the world's most expensive cities affordable for its working-class residents. I know a friend of mine right now who lives in New York. They're paying an enormous amount of money for an apartment that's nothing but a hole in the wall. It's ridiculous. Adams will try to appeal to the same voters Cuomo's campaign targeted. Moderate Democrats who fear the prospect of a Mamdani administration, black voters who have historically supported both Adams and Cuomo, and the city's real estate and business leaders to see Mamdani's ideas for a rent freeze and a tax increase on millionaires as an existential threat. Why not have a rent freeze? If it's too hard for people to pay rent, why do you keep going up on the rent? You should have a freeze on rent. Why not help those that need a hand? Look at all the billionaires that are in the Trump administration right now. They pride themselves on being billionaires. They pride themselves being non-empathetic to the needs of everyday people. And the sad thing about it is this. Everything that's going on in this nation right now, the majority of the people voted for it. You can't have voters' remorse and voters' regret because it's not going to unchange anything. And the same thing is going to happen in New York City. If you don't believe me, put Adams in office and watch it. Put him back in office again and watch what happens. You're going to regret it with agony. You're going to regret it with a sorrowful tone to your voice. I've come to the conclusion, just because a candidate is black, that does not mean that they automatically get my support anymore. I'm done with seeing black people being put out front. See, we gave you a black candidate, vote for us. No, I am going to vote for individuals who are really concerned about helping people, period. This is not a city where you use idealism to state you're giving everything to everyone for free, Adams said. There's no dignity in someone giving you everything for free. There's dignity in giving you a job so you can provide for your family and the opportunities that you desire, end quote. Well, $250 million was given to the Trump campaign from Elon Musk. Isn't that for free? Tax-free money? Mamdani told CNN's Aaron Burnett that Adams was trying to distract from rent hikes and increase utility costs and acted during his term. Quote, "I understand what he's doing," Mamdani said. "I would much rather talk about me than I would about his record if I was him." And so that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to be doing over the next few months. And we will continue to remind New Yorkers what's on the ballot. It's affordability. Adams was surrounded by a diverse crowd, including members of the city's black clergy. Oh, you pay these preachers enough, they'll go anywhere. Latino pastors and Jewish faith leaders, part of a key coalition that helped Adams secure his first win in 2022. There was also a who's who of controversial characters from New York's political sphere, including State Senator Malcolm Smith, who was convicted of bribing New York City Republican Party leaders, and two members of Adams's inner circle, Brianna Suggs and Winnie Greco, whose homes were raided by the FBI as part of two separate investigations, including one focused on the mayor's fundraising practices, also joined the campaign launch. Suggs and Greco could be seen passing out campaign signs to supporters, corralling the crowd, and distributing handheld fans reading, quote, "Re-elect Eric for mayor," end quote. A QR code on the back landed users on the campaign website. Haven't y'all had enough? That's the question. Haven't y'all had enough? Or do y'all want the same old stuff? The fact that a socialist candidate could win the Democratic Party nomination is telling you that people want a substantial change in New York City. Despite the advantage of incumbency, Adams has a steep hill to climb. His approval rating was 20% in March, according to one poll. That's pathetic. And every time Adams has come before the cameras, he came with a belligerent, self-centered, egotistical, narcissistic attitude. When reporters asked him a question, he sounded like one of those nasty MAGA Republicans every time he responded. Send Adams packing. Elect Zohran Mamdani and give him an opportunity. And if he doesn't do it, what he says he can do, then you get rid of him, but give him a chance. That's what's wrong with America. You got all these old people who want to stay in politics until they die. They don't want anybody young to come along. They don't want fresh ideas. What's wrong with being idealistic? What's wrong with challenging the status quo? What's wrong with wanting to make things better for everybody and not one marginalized group of people? Now listen to this. Adams, a former registered Republican, has embraced the Trump administration while refusing to criticize the president after his charges were dropped. Do you think those charges were dropped for nothing? Come on now. You don't get something for nothing in this world. They were dropped for a reason. Many New York Democrats who vastly outnumber GOP voters in the nation's largest city see that an affront. Their anger was on display Thursday as Adams delivered his speech when a protester shouted over him, calling him a criminal and accusing him of selling New Yorkers out to Trump. Despite the challenges, Adams does have some advantages. A daily bully pulpit covered by the largest media market in the country. That means nothing. So what? Just because you have a pulpit and the media, that doesn't mean you're going to win election. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the tried and proven tricks from the past. Don't let them make mockery out of you all in New York City in November. So near universal recognition and a cadre of aides ready to deploy a Rose Garden strategy to showcase the work of his administration. Adams did not have the Gen Z know-how of social media that helped catapult Mamdani to stardom in a matter of weeks. A recent Adams quote, "Get ready with me" video has been widely ridiculed online. But he is a charismatic and talented campaigner in his own right who once successfully connected with New Yorkers and identified with his life story and working class background. Well, that was a long time ago. All right. I tried to warn y'all during the presidential campaign and people didn't want to listen. I'm going to warn you now. Put Adams in there and you're going to regret it. What is less clear is whether they would identify with him again. For now, Adams is trying to ridicule Mamdani's social media game. The one of his jabs referenced a social media platform Elon Musk renamed X in 2023. Quote, "They have a record of tweets," he said. "I have a record of the streets." Yeah, you have a record of the tweets, and the president is tweeting all the time. What's wrong with tweeting? What's wrong with using social media to get your message across? Just because you have a record of the street don't mean nothing. You may have a record of the streets, but you left the people of the streets a long time ago. Never surrender. Never quit. All right, let me go to the comment section real quick. Ghost said hello. What's happening, Ghost? Frank, a pimp named Slickback. Give me a prayer, brother. I will definitely say a prayer for you. All right. I'm out. See you on the next video.